tube friends, my name is Constance, and this is Cruelty Free Musings. Welcome back. I know it's been a minute. School started back. Also known as the world came to an end and I was not prepared. I really enjoy being in school, but it always takes me a minute to get back in the swing of, oh my goodness, I have so much less time. So, here I am, homesick from work, making a video. What I do for you? Yeah. Alright, today's video is going to be an update on, my brain always autofills my no by year. It's not a year. It's 3 months. You can call it a quarter. It doesn't exactly align with the standard quarter though. So it's like my 3-month no buy. But it's associated really strongly in my head with Hannah's no buy year, so that's how it always connects in my head. So let's have a talk about how my no buy's going. I've been playing with makeup more. Not that I didn't. I've actually been putting on makeup less regularly, and I put on a full face. I never do a full face. Let's be honest here. I never do a full face. Eyebrows, they're the bane of my existence. Look, they're so nice. Why do I need to do more with them? Anyway, so the number of times that I do a full face of makeup has gone drastically down. But the amount that I am playing with eyeshadow or just throwing on foundation, blush, bronzer, highlight, or just eyes, concealer, lips has gone up. So I'm not putting on makeup every single day, but I am, when I put on makeup, I am entering my collection with the intention to explore and see what's going on today. What's cool. This eye look, ignore the smudged eyeliner. That's a thing that I hate that people say. I hate that people say, ignore my nails. I took my nail polish off. Like, why do you care? But I acknowledge that I have smudged my eyeliner. You may recognize it. It doesn't matter to me. I'm probably going to take a bath after this, actually, because I'm sick. Baths make me feel better. I have been playing with makeup more. I have been going into my collection with the intent to explore and just see what I can create. I wanted to do just kind of a simple sculptural eye with a winged liner, which looks great on camera, and I hate the way it looks in real life. So there we go. I have always known that winged eyeliner changes my eye shape. My eyes are very large this way and very, very round. So a winged eyeliner pulls up the tail and makes it a different shape. I've always known this. It's a simple concept. I don't like it. And I keep revisiting the concept of a winged liner because, I see so many people who do wings and who love wings, and, that's great. And Yeah, I just don't. I just don't love changing the shape of my eyes. I would rather make them look larger than more almond. So that is, I won't call it a final conclusion yet because I'll probably get the inclination to put on a wing at some point in the future. But it's never going to be the staple of my style that it is for a lot of people, just because I don't like the way it looks on me. So, this is something that I've learned from playing with my makeup. I have noticed over the course of the last couple of months that my eyelids are really oily. How do I know this? Well, this waterproof liquid liner will transfer on me after I have worn it for 8 hours. So that's another reason that I'm not a huge fan of wings in general. They just don't last on me. Like, when am I going to wear an eyeliner for fewer than 8 hours? Like, I get up early, I read and do yoga, and then I put on, whatever level of makeup I'm going for that day. And then I work for 7 hours, and then I may or may not come home before going and doing the next thing. I just don't wear eyeliner for less than 8 hours. So having an eyeliner that transfers, and they all transfer, the only eyeliner that I found that does not transfer is the ColourPop Cream Gel eyeliner, which I have one in my waterline today. I think it's Call Me, the dark brown. I should clarify the dark brown that I own. There are other dark browns. So yeah, I won't call this the final end point on winged eyeliner, because, I do really like the way it looks on camera. I just don't like it in person. I think it changes the shape of my eyes too much when you're actually looking at me in person. So, yeah, playing with makeup and learning things about your preferences. It's great. The next thing, we're kind of going in random order. I don't have notes or anything. I just kind of, talked out a list of things that I wanted to hit on, so I may or may not hit all of them before turning off the camera. We'll see how it goes. So, the next thing is kind of two things. I hit a pain point on not buying something, and also it feels really pretentious to say something like, I have a pain point around not buying something. Like, why? How is not buying something painful? But if you've ever decided to not spend money for a length of time, you know exactly what that feeling is. Right? I am correct. Yes. I just realized that I'm off-center. There's no purpose to this. I'm just going to be off-center for the rest of the video. Okay? Cool. Alright. So, yeah, why is not buying things painful? And of course, the thing that I'm experiencing pain over not buying is it's not going to be a problem. It will not be a problem because I know for a fact that I will just not use up the thing that I have. But I had a panic moment where I was like, oh my goodness, I'm almost to the end of this notebook. I didn't buy a notebook before the onset of this official no-buy, and what am I going to do? Because I have all of these other notebooks that I can write in. The answer is you're going to write in your other notebooks. And it is not the end of the world that they're all ruled and your favorite one is dot grid. Okay? That's... I'm talking to myself here. I use a notebook for writing in. I don't typically do diagrams or layouts. Yes, I have a bullet journal. Yes, I use it for bullet journaling. Know that in no way requires a dot grid. Do I highly prefer a dot grid? Absolutely. Am I currently planning out my entire life in my bullet journal? Nah. No, I'm not. And in part, this is because of anxiety. I'm like rationing this notebook so that I'll still have it when I can buy things again. But in part, this is just, I have learned how to use bullet journaling in a way that works for me, which is the point. This is the point of bullet journaling. You use it how it works for you. And I've learned that I just write lists. I write lists. I use my journal pages for more conventional journaling. Occasionally I'll do something a little more decorative, like a mandala or, some kind of a thing. But for the most part, what's in my journal is writing, and I can do that just fine on lined paper. If I even run out, which I have almost 40 pages at this point, I'm probably not going to run out. It's a 250-page journal. I've been using it since, the last 2 weeks or so of December. So it's August. It's the end of August. I am just not going to use up this notebook before the end of my no-buy. So it's completely irrational to suddenly feel panic that I won't be able to buy another one, that I might be out of it. Plus, it's also irrational because I have lots of notebooks. This is, in fact, why notebooks were specifically mentioned in my no-buy rules. I cannot buy notebooks because I have lots of notebooks. Because I have previously used notebooks and pens and journaling supplies as a get out of jail for, it's the concept of addiction transfer. If you stop buying, if you stop using the first substance that you're addicted to, you can very easily transfer an addiction to something else. So for example, it's a well-documented phenomenon that people in Alcoholics Anonymous usually take up smoking. So, like, that's an example of addiction transfer. Well, you can do the same thing with an addictive behavior. And if your addictive behavior is shopping, it's really easy. If you forbid yourself from buying one category, you just switch to a different category of thing. So, I have used notebooks and pens and journaling supplies in general as a way of getting around, no, I'm not supposed to buy, I'm not supposed to buy makeup right now. Well, I'm not supposed to buy makeup, but there's no rule against buying a new pen or see this is how it goes down this rabbit trail, especially for someone with a lot of interests. So it's a really interesting concept that, okay, here's this pain point that you wouldn't expect before going into this experience. Here's like, why would it be painful to see the end of a notebook approaching and think, I can't buy a new notebook because I already have a notebook that will work? No reasonable person is going to think that that's a rational response. But that's the point, isn't it? Like, we're questioning through this no buy, I am questioning my perception of reality and my experience of reality and figuring out what is actually going on. Alright, so the next thing, transfer of topic. I'm finding that I'm spending less time on shopping behavior. I'm spending less time on Sephora. I've spent a lot of time on Sephora recently because I'm looking for a new sunscreen. Right now I'm thinking that I'll probably get the Drunk Elephant untinted sunscreen because it's, 3 ounces for $34, and I was like, that is like my current sunscreen I think is $36 and is less than 2 ounces. So like, I'm probably going to buy that, but I've been looking at sunscreen and looking for reasonable options. Like, goal-based for something that I know I can buy in the near future, because I'm almost out of sunscreen. But I'm doing less shopping behavior in general, and it is making me jealous of my time. So, you remember the julep box? I gave myself permission. If it spoke to me, I could spend the money on the julep subscription. Well, I didn't, because the window opened, and my thought was, I don't want to spend the time that it would take for me to actually build a box that I might want. So I looked at the I think there were 2 options this month that cost just the basic amount. It might have been 1. So I looked at it and I was like, meh. And I was like, okay, skip this month. And I moved on. Like, shopping feels like a waste of time to me now. I I could be reading. I could be doing schoolwork. I could be journaling. I could be figuring out how I actually feel on a topic. I could be practicing music. I could be doing something. And instead I'm looking at my phone, lost in this world of I don't even know what. It's, this rabbit hole of consumerism. So that was unexpected. A couple of days before the Julep Box window opened, I think I got some kind of reminder, email, like, oh, it's almost here. And my thought was, I don't want a package to come in the mail. And that is a complete shift from how I felt 2 months ago. I had packages coming at least every week, and, frequently things that I genuinely needed, like toothbrushes. Our toothbrush heads I have a subscription for on Amazon. That's another thing that I am jealous for my time of. I'm not going to just browse Amazon endlessly for something to buy and save money on that will then sit somewhere in my apartment and clutter it up. I don't want a package to arrive just for the excitement of opening a package. It feels like a wasteful expenditure of energy to have to go and pick up a package from the office of my apartment complex. My perspective on the primary joy of online shopping has changed so much. In a month and a half. I'm counting it as a month and a half because I didn't buy things for about half of July as well. Even though my official no-buy didn't start until August 1st. I spent my entire frivolities budget in the first week of July and then kept spending money, and then I was like, this needs to get under control. So, yeah. So, that was something that I did not expect at the beginning of this journey, to, like, Hannah has been talking about not wanting samples, feeling like samples are clutter in her life. And I get that. I have, honestly, a much smaller collection than she does, which is, interesting because I spent so much money on accumulating stuff, but I've also massively purged and purged and purged. So it ends up that I have a much smaller collection because I just haven't kept that much stuff. So she has been talking about not wanting samples to clutter up her collection. Well, I don't have that many samples anymore, but I'm starting to feel that way about getting packages. Like, I'll spend the energy on an actually essential package. I'm getting water fountain filters for my cat's water fountain. No, he's not spoiled. Why would you ask? That's coming in the mail. today, actually. It's supposed to show up today, which means it's probably at the clubhouse. So that doesn't feel like a waste of energy because it's necessary. I just put the last filter in his fountain. It's like buying cat litter. You know, I can't pick it up from the store, so I buy it online. And then it's delivered. Ta-da! It's a very simple transactional way of viewing packages instead of the Christmas, oh my goodness, a present that I spent money on has arrived for me in the mail. I did not anticipate that perspective on packages to ever be a thing, but that was one of the first results. Packages stopped arriving before the beginning of my no-buy. And I got used to it. And I'm happier. It blows my mind every time I think about it. I'm happier now. Not spending this money, not getting these packages, using what I have. And that's another thing. My collection feels enormous. Like, how can I buy another thing when I have so much stuff? I used to just go on the ColourPop website and look at all of the lippies whenever they had a sale. Because lipsticks are my vice. I really like lipstick. I've always liked lipstick. That was the first makeup thing that I ever got into, was lipstick. Actually, the Burt's Bees, like the skinny pencil glossy lips. Yeah, I think I had raisin or rhubarb. Mom talked me out of the really vampy one, but it was definitely too dark for my very pale face with no other makeup on it. Anyway, lipstick. Instead of looking at the colors and thinking, oh my goodness, I need that, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I have that color in my collection, let me go and get it. Because you know what? I have all of the colors that I own in my collection already. I have all of the colors that I wear already in my collection. Everything that I want to wear, I already own. I already own it. I own a red. I own pinky nudes. I own terracotta nudes. I own brownie nudes. I own peaches. I own corals. I have so many colors that I love and that I love wearing. So I'm just wearing them. I'm not thinking about all of, these colors that I could be acquiring. I'm not placing random orders and throwing in a lip product to make free shipping. That's another thing. I've gotten a lot less attached to free shipping. When you think in the concept of spending money instead of, oh, I'm saving. You know, this is the concept of prospect theory. Losses are more painful than gains are beneficial for you. Daniel Kahneman. Prospect theory. Losses are more painful than gains are beneficial. So, to frame it in the sense, oh, if you spend $11 more, you get free shipping, makes it feel like by not spending $11 more, you're losing free shipping. And that's really painful psychologically. But if instead of spending $11, you just spend $6 on shipping, you in fact did not lose $5. It's mind-blowing. But it's just a perspective shift. It's a little perspective tweak. Finally, the last couple of things that I want to touch on. I have, I've uninstalled a couple of apps from my phone. I don't look at Outlook anymore, so I uninstalled it. I have reinstalled the Ulta app because I find that it's easier for me to actually save favorites through the app than through the web browser, because the browser will not keep you signed in for love nor money. Like, it just won't keep you signed in for more than about 10 minutes at a time. Even if you click stay signed in, it's a lie. It's a lie on the Ulta website. So in order to easily save things to your favorites so that you can buy them later or to throw them into your cart, you have to either make sure that you're signed in, or you have to have the app, and then it's just a lot easier because the app will actually keep you logged in. So, related to that, I did actually, that was right around the time of the, announcement of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. It's still coming up as I record this. It's going to start on the 2nd of September. That's this Sunday. That's this Sunday in the future as I'm recording this. This is probably going to go up during the 21 Days of Beauty. When I initially heard the date for the date range for the 21 Days of Beauty, I was like, that's another Ulta 21 Days of Beauty that I'm just not going to buy anything during. Because so far, I've been aware of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty for the last, counting this upcoming one, I would say 3. And I still have yet to buy anything on, during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. It's just, I don't know, the things never appeal to me enough for me to actually buy them. But I was looking for information on the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, and I also saw a beautiful lip gloss, and I was like, I need to save that lip gloss to a place that I will be able to find it again. Surprise, surprise. It was one worn by Hannah. Yeah. The NYX Butter Gloss. It was called Truffle in her description box, so I think it's probably whatever, black raspberry truffle or something like that. Truffle cake or yeah, raspberry truffle cake or black raspberry truffle, something like that. It's a really pretty brownie purple gloss, which I think will really suit me. When you install an app, you want to spend time using it and, you know, maybe reacquainting yourself with it. And so I did lose an evening to shopping on the Ulta app. And I have been shopping a little bit more on the Sephora app, as I mentioned, looking for a sunscreen because I'm about to run out. I've lost a little bit of time to these shopping behaviors that I now recognize as being super unproductive and even destructive. But you know, recognizing it is part of the battle. I've recognized it, so now I can move on. I recognize that I spent an evening not playing with my cat or doing schoolwork. And I'm not willing to do that again. So, you know, it's not something that I think is fully reinstated in my life in the way that it was before. I will say that I do shop, you know, in that I go on websites and I look for things that I want. I did enough shopping on Melt Cosmetics to convince me that I am not going to buy anything from Melt Cosmetics, because apart from the we're going to hype up Gemini palette and then do a super limited release and not release it again, and then oh, never mind, it was super popular and we're actually going to release it again. You know, apart from that wiffly waffly nonsense, which I don't think any part of that was good business practice. Like, if you're going to hype it up, don't make it limited. Or be committed to restocking. Or something. Anyway. I picked out some, you know, Melt Cosmetics singles. You know, I've looked at all of the stacks multiple times and I'm like, they don't, you know, none of them as a whole color story actually appeal to me. So, but they're all available individually for $17 a pop. So, I assembled my own 5-pan melt stack. And then I looked at my cart and I was like, $85, what gives? Seriously. Like, if you're going to buy a stack that they assembled for you, you get a $40 discount? $40. So, you know, I wouldn't have any problems paying $45 for 5 eyeshadows that I really loved, that I thought would be an interesting addition to my collection, that I've heard only great things about the formula. I'm not gonna spend $85 on it. Like, 45, that's one thing. 85, that's entirely different. Like, if you're going to charge $85 for 5 shadows, is your name Tom Ford? Because if not, I'm not paying it. calm down. Oh yeah, I've done like exploratory shopping. I think I know what my next bullet journal is going to be, because I did some exploration on jet pens. I discovered some things that were important to me. You know, I discovered some things about notebooks related to things that are important to me. I did some, you know, I've done some browsing on Colored Rain. I've done those are the only ones that I can actually remember. Like, I know that I have done a little bit more shopping than this in the time frame in the last month. We'll call it a month because I don't think that my shopping behavior really dropped until August. But I just didn't spend money in July. I still shopped. But in August, I really made the commitment that I was going to change my behaviors and spend more time doing the things that I actually enjoyed doing and less browsing the internet for things that I don't need. 'Cause you know what? I only have one face. I only have one face. I can only wear so much makeup at a time. I don't need an entire graveyard of things that are going to go bad. So yeah. I haven't completely stopped shopping. I'm still watching a little bit of YouTube because I do enjoy it. It's a great thing to do as I knit, an activity that I enjoy, instead of having a video on in the background and some shopping thing open on my phone. So like this is the kind of behavior that I'm drawing a distinction between. I'm spending more time reading because I enjoy reading. I do consume YouTube still if I want to do something a little bit more passive. And that's pretty much all beauty related. Pretty much that's all beauty. But I do still shop. I'm spending more time doing things that I enjoy. I have plans to go out with a friend and get some mochi tomorrow. And, you know, I am enjoying my makeup collection for what it is, instead of just buying new shiny things. And that is something that I kinda knew would happen, but I didn't really get that it would be happening. So this is a pretty cool adventure and a pretty cool proposition that, hey, your brain is actually changing because of the commitment that you made to this no-buy and the rules that you set up for yourself. So instead of buying journaling supplies, I'm actually journaling. Instead of buying makeup, I'm putting it on. Instead of buying yarn, I'm knitting. Instead of buying books, I'm reading. Which I did buy the Corinthian update. If you stuck it out this long. I did buy the Corinthian for my August book because I needed something else from Amazon, and I was like, I know that I wanted this book. My September book will be a Kindle book. Assuming that I actually have the time that I feel like I can dedicate to reading the Corinthian and making sure that it's actually, making sure that I experience the thing that I purchased, and it's not just, well, right now it's sitting on the arm of the couch because I haven't read it yet, but making sure that I enjoy the things that I own. That's what this no-buy is about. I'm pretty impressed that I managed to commit to something that's tangibly changing my attitudes and my brain. And I'm really excited to see what else changes and whether this attitude shift is sustainable. I hope it is, because you know what? I really enjoy being happy instead of just sinking my time into useless pleasures that don't do anything. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you feel like. Thanks for watching, especially if you hung out all the way to the end. And goodbye for now.